All right, so what's up, everyone? The last time I was on here, I think I left off with telling you guys that my mother found the drugs. If this is your first time looking at this video, go back to the other one, and that way you can see what I talked about at first. Give me a sec. I'm just gonna put. Well, I'll pull up once I see that I have some viewers. Okay, so this is part two of the segment about me calling myself selling drugs. All right. So lastly, I think I left off telling you guys that my mother found the drugs, right? So I'm just like, oh, I'm not really sure if I know I wasn't home when she found the drugs, but it's been so long that that conversation was just like crazy. So anyway, I'll just skip past that part. I'm quite sure she told me, why are you doing this? This, that, and the third. I'm quite sure I got grounded and all of that, right? But this is where it gets crazy. This is where that whole story gets crazy. So remember, I was selling drugs for the guy Chocolate. I was selling crack at the time. So now I don't have the drugs, right? And now how am I going to tell Chocolate that I, one, don't have the drugs because my mother found them, and two, I don't have the money. Like, if you're selling drugs for somebody and they gave it to you on like what they call consignment, where you sell it and then you give them back the money, how was I going to give him back the money? So at this point, I started avoiding him for a while. Now, most of the time, I would have to like walk past his building to go like catch the train and stuff, but I would just go the other way. For like a week, I was doing it, just avoiding him. He knew where I lived, but he didn't know my apartment or what floor that I lived on. So it wasn't even like he could just come to my house to be like, yo, where the fuck is my money? You know what I'm saying? So after that, hello, I see I have a viewer. Hello, hello, hello. Two viewers. Hey, so after that, it was like, it was crazy. So finally he ran into me, right? I don't know what happened. I'm thinking, you know what happened? I was coming home from school. That's what it was. I was coming home from school and I was actually on Neptune Avenue instead of Surf Avenue. He lived on Surf Avenue. So I was walking home from Neptune Avenue, right? So he's like, yo, come here, come here. I was like, oh shit. Now, at the time, this is what I forgot to tell you guys. So still, remember, I gave a white girl that was my so-called home girl, half of the drugs. It had been like a week. This bitch ain't come to school, nothing. So I went to her house like 2 times. She was never home. So it was just like, so what they call it, jumping the fence. So it was like she just jumped the fence and did whatever with the drugs and the money. Okay. So when he was like, come here, I was like, shit. So I couldn't run because he was like the type of cat that you're not going to run from him. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you're not running from Chocolate. So I was like, shit. So I go over there. So he's like, what's up? And I was like, oh, nothing. He was like, yo, you been avoiding me? I've been looking for you. I was like, nah, I had to go to school and stuff. I was busy. So he's like, yo, all right then. Well, where's my money? And I was like, well, I don't have your money. He was like, what you mean you don't have my money? But of course he was cursing a little bit more. So I was like, yo, I don't have your money. So he was like, well, where's the drugs? And I was like, I don't have the drugs either. My mom's found them. He was like, your mom's found them. And I was like, yeah, my mother found them. So he was like, nah, fuck that shit. You gonna give me my money. So at this point, right? Hold on, guys. It's crazy. Hold on 1 second. Trying to see if anyone's gonna leave anything. Let me just turn this down because I can see the chat right here. Let's see. Let me see something about. Will it pop up? Okay, yeah, I need to just leave this open. Anyone have any question while I'm talking? Yeah, the chat should be open. So just like leave it down there. So anyway, so to make a long story short, he made me sit downstairs in his building, right? So he had some guy watching me. I had never seen a guy. So he's like, yo, you going to give me my fucking money. So I'm sitting there like, listen, I don't have your money. My mother found the drugs. Like, how am I going to have money without the drugs? I couldn't sell the rest of them because my mom's found them and she got rid of them. So don't you guys know? I gotta take a sip on this one because this was gonna go really ugly, really quick. So hold on. See there? I need to drink some liquid courage to finish telling you guys the story. And this is not water. All right, I'm gonna drink it out of a straw. Ugh, whatever that is, that's strong. Okay, so let's say it was around I want to say 6 o'clock. because it used to take me a while to come from the city to get back to Coney Island. So you talking about coming from school, like basically Manhattan going into Brooklyn, right? And that was like the last stop. Coney Island was the last stop. D train, F train. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I'm sitting downstairs, right, in the building, and he was like just ripping, running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So finally he comes back and he's like, you know what? Since you don't have my fucking drugs or my money, I'm gonna get it out of you somehow. So he was like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have these niggas run a train on you. I wish I could rewind this and say it slow again. In my head, all I heard was, have these niggas run a train on you. So I'm like, what? So I'm sitting there, so I'm trying to figure out, girl, how are you going to get away? How are you going to get out the situation? Keep in mind, I'm 16 years old. He was probably in his 20s, I'm thinking, because he was older than me anyway. So I'm just sitting there, right? So as I'm sitting there, now keep in mind, guys, I'm sitting on the ground in the lobby of like this apartment building, right? So people coming in and out, nobody's thinking nothing of it. You know, in New York, people mind their business. You get what I'm saying? That's good and bad, because anything could have happened to me. Clearly, I'm here, so you guys know I'm not dead because I'm talking to you guys, right? So, hey, lady. What's up, Moneyisourgoal? What's up, Shelly Shell? All right, so yeah, this is the story. Moneyisourgoal, you probably remember this. I'm trying to think if you were around during that time. I don't remember. Moneyisourgoal is my sister-in-law. Okay, so anyway, let me finish. So he finally comes back, right? Now, keep in mind, this cat chocolate is like rounding up dudes. Just like rounding up dudes like they're about to take me somewhere and rape me. Seriously, I wish I was making this up, but I am not making this up. So, hold on, look with courage. Oh, what is that? Okay, so anyway, so next thing I know, right, he tells somebody to go get his car. So I'm sitting there like, yo, I ain't about to go nowhere. Niggas ain't gonna be raping me, give me AIDS or something shit. And at the time I was a virgin. So you really ain't doing nothing to me. So it just so happened, right? There was another guy in the building, this guy named Vincent. Now this is a true story. That's his real name. So anybody that knows me and knows him knows that I'm not lying, right? So Vincent came, and I don't know, maybe Vincent heard what was going on. Maybe somebody told him, because he lived in the same building. So Vincent was like, yo, man, you're not going to, yo, leave Shorty alone, yo, let her go home. You know what I'm saying? That's a young girl, let her go home. So next thing I knew, he talked Chocolate into letting me leave, but then Chocolate hit me like upside my head, like all I heard was ringing. I don't know if he smacked me, I don't know if he punched me, but he was like, bitch, you lucky. So basically, if Vincent didn't come, and they tried to like make me go in that car, I would have had to like run, fight, do whatever. Because I'm like, y'all not gangbanging me. You're not about to rape me. None of that's going to happen. All this because my fast behind trying to be grown said that I wanted to sell drugs. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? All this because I was like, I wanted to sell drugs. So I'm going to tell you guys what happened. Hold on. Let me sip again. Okay. So like I said, he either punched me upside my head or smacked me or something. The only thing I know is I just heard some ringing. Like, I guess he was like, bitch, you lucky. He saved you. So Vincent ends up picking me up off the floor, like off the ground, because I'm still just sitting there trying to figure out what the hell am I going to do. So I'm just sitting there. So Vincent's like, come on, yo, I'll take you home. I'll take you home. Like, this is ridiculous. So now, what you guys didn't hear me say was, I always had a crush on Vincent. He just never knew that. So I had a crush on him. I don't know, for some reason when I was younger, I always liked older guys. I guess because they had cars, they had their own cribs, they had money. Yeah. I didn't want the guys my age. I wanted the older guys. So anyway, so so I'm like, thank you so much. So now I felt like I owed him my life because I don't know what might have happened to me. You get what I'm saying? I'm young. Nobody's trying to help me. People see me sitting there. They probably see this guy Chocolate rounding up dudes like, yo, we about to go do such and such. Who does that? But he's no longer living today. So yeah. I don't remember how he died. I just know he got killed doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing. Talking about chocolate. So anyway, so Vincent ends up taking me home, right? He takes me home and he's like, you all right? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. So he gives me his phone number and he was like, yo, you ever need anything, call me. He's like, why'd you even get hooked up with this cat? So I was like, I don't know. You know, I'm sitting there like, I don't know. But at this point, I'm crying. You see, I'm acting all hard now. I was crying at this point. Like, even when chocolate done hit me upside my head, I was crying. So thank God Vincent was home and he saw what was going on and he saved me, right? All right. So now it's time for me to go upstairs, right? Yeah. So he drives me to my parking lot. I was living in 3405 Neptune Avenue, C-Rise, right? So I go upstairs. My mother's upstairs. Yeah. Remember, now she's home. So of course she asked me what was I doing with the drugs? Why'd I do this? Why'd I do that? Now, what I didn't tell you guys was my cousin. I had a cousin in Coney Island, right? They used to try to keep me out of all of this trouble. He goes by the name of Slice. Yeah. If you're from Coney Island, you know who I'm talking about. So she's like, oh, I'm going to tell Slice what happened. But she called him by his government name. She's like, I'm going to tell him what happened. And this and the third, you know, because you shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that. So, of course, I was on punishment. I don't even think I got my ass whooped. She's probably so shocked that I even was like doing that crazy mess that I don't even think she beat me. I just think she just put me on punishment. So needless to say, at this point now, even though Vincent had saved me, I was still like, what happens if I see Chocolate again? Like, what happens if I see him again or whatever? And I still owe this man money. Now, guys, keep in mind, remember the white girl, remember that? The Russian chick, my home girl. I still hadn't heard from her. So I'm paging her. Still hadn't heard from her, right? So I was like, all right, I'm going to see that bitch in school. She got to come back to school. This is how I was talking. So you see I'm cursing, but this is how I was talking. So I'm keeping it real with you guys. All right. So my mother ends up telling my cousin, right? My cousin was not to be fucked with out there in Coney Island. That's just the bottom line. He was not to be fucked with, him and his whole crew. So she ends up telling him, so now I have to talk to him. This is like the next day. So now I didn't even go to school the next day. So now I have to talk to him. And, you know, he ended up talking to Chocolate or whatever. And he said whatever he had to say. By the time I saw my cousin again, he was like, cuz you good. Don't worry about it. Niggas not going to fuck with you. You straight. So, whew, I dodged a bullet on that time. Never picked up another drug again. Didn't want to sell drugs. Hello. Didn't want to sell drugs no more. You know, so that was like my drug dealing experience. Terrible. Remember I told you guys I had a crush on Vincent. So me and Vincent started dating. I was, okay, let's see. I'm 16. He might have been like 3-4 years older than me. I was growing up, you know. I was growing up. So I started dating him. Like, we would go to the movies and, you know, to the park and different things like that. So remember I told you guys that they had robbed a guy named Anthony that lived in my building. I used to talk to Anthony. Remember I told you Chocolate did that whenever, remember I told you in the other part. If you missed the other part, go back and watch the other part. So hold on. Why is this going in and out? All right. So anyway, what part is that? Yeah. So he's like, you know, don't worry about it. Now I'm going back to my cousin. He's like, you straight, don't worry about all that. So of course now, even though my cousin told me not to worry about it, I'm still like low key, like, well, damn, what's gonna happen if I run into this dude? Is he gonna be like, yo, you told your cousin on me or what? But thank God, if I did run into him, it was like he went the other way. So I don't know what my cousin said or what he did, but I was cool after that. All right, so that wraps up the drug dealing part. I never even touched the drug to sell. I was over it. That was a short-lived fantasy of mine. I was like, you could not try to sell drugs because you could have died, could have been gang raped, could have got AIDS, could have got anything from them guys if they had raped me. You know what I'm saying? So thank God, God was with me. God has always been with me. You know, praying parents, praying grandmas. Yeah, so thank God for family, right? All right. So now let me just now I'm gonna get on to the story of, let me see what else I'm gonna tell you guys. Let's see. Trying to just tell you guys all the exciting stuff. Let me think. Okay, I got it. I'll continue on from Vincent. So remember now, I told you guys I was dating Vincent. Vincent was a little older than me, so of course older guys want sex. I wasn't having sex yet, so we can't do that. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, we used to kiss and, you know, rub and all the other little stuff. But there was this other guy. Keep in mind. Now, I was not a hoe because I was not having sex yet. So don't listen, guys. Don't try to call me a hoe because I was not having sex yet. Okay? I wasn't having sex yet at 16. So, but I had a crush on boys. You know, you 16 years old, you're going to have a crush. So there was this other guy named Taquin. Now, this is crazy because I'm using their real names. And it is whatever. I ain't use your last name. But anyway, Taquin used to hang. Crazy. Taquin used to hang with these other cats, right? And what the hell got O'Dwyer's? Yeah, in apartments called O'Dwyer's, right, in the neighborhood. So a lot of guys used to be around the basketball court, right? Now keep in mind, remember I told you that the way that I used to dress back then, I didn't dress like everybody else. So they probably thought I was like weird. You know what I'm saying? Because I dressed so different. I stood out. I didn't dress like everybody else. So, and back then, I guess you could kind of call me a tease. Kind of, sort of. I wasn't into the tight clothes yet. You know, everything that I wore was pretty much baggy. It was different. So the moral of this story is Taquin and Vincent were friends. Right? But I had a crush on Taquin, but I was already dealing with Vincent. So they never knew that I was talking to the both of them, if that makes any sense. Yeah, they didn't know. So say like if they were in the basketball court, because like guys back then used to just be playing basketball. So say I walked through with my homegirls, right? So I would speak to both of them, but then I'd be like, nigga, wasn't I just with you yesterday? Now keep in mind I wasn't having sex, no type of sex, no anal, oral, nothing, no sex at all. So don't go there. I told y'all this is real and raw. I was not having sex yet at all, and none of my hoes. I'm just saying. So yeah, this is some raw stuff that I'm talking right now. This is not for kids, so kids shouldn't be on this channel. But it'd be crazy because you know back then, and then I always had full lips. So I guess the guy used to be like, "Oh, I want to kiss her. Her mouth, her lips are big," you know, and all of that. But they probably had other things on the brain. But I wasn't into nothing because I was still, like I said, wasn't having sex. So this is what happened that particular day, right? I think the day before, because I started actually talking to Taquin. It was like back then I didn't really know how to tell a guy that I liked him, so I would just like come around, you know, where they were, and I'd just be sitting around, and then if he looked at me, I might wink or something, you know, something silly, because I was young, just trying to date the older guys or whatever. So this particular time, Vincent came on, because everybody knew I was talking to Vincent. At least I thought they did. Wait, let me think. No, I forgot. Okay, let me back it up. See, it's been that long. Nobody knew I was talking to Vincent, but like my peoples, like my homegirls. Because I was like, you know, if we in the street, I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to cramp your style. I know you older than me. See, that was my G back then. I know you older than me. Nobody has to know that we dating or whatever. So, of course, he was driving. So when he would come and pick me up from my building, nobody would see us but the people that pretty much hung around my building or lived in my building. Taquin used to not be in my neighborhood, so he had no reason to even know. So when they used to be together, I guess what you call quiet as kept, they wasn't like, yo, I mess with shorty or nothing. Like, see, 16 years old, macking them boy. Way back then, macking, right? So, hold on. All right. So yeah, so way back then, I'm macking way back then, right? Hold on. Give me 1 second. All right. Yeah. So I'm macking way back then. And all right. So yeah, so they would be together not knowing that I was dealing with the both of them. Like I'll talk to you one day, I'll talk to you the next. Maybe they probably didn't have nothing to share because I wasn't having sex yet. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm thinking now, if I was having sex, they probably would have been comparing notes or trying to, you know, threesome, foursome. I'm just saying, dudes is nasty. All right. So anyway, more liquid courage so I can be honest. So, you know, so I'm just sitting there. So in my head, I'm laughing because I'm like, they don't even know I talk to the both of them, or do they know? So it was like funny for me to even like wonder if they were even thinking or even knowing that I talked to the both of them. All right, let's fast forward. So after that, somehow I let Taquin know that I was into him too. You know, he's like, well, who you deal with out here? I'm like, man, I don't deal with nobody. You know, lying. I'm like, I don't deal with nobody. I just be doing my thing. I go to school. You know, I come back home, you know, I'm like, people not into me. They think I'm weird. Look how I dress. They think I'm weird. They don't really know what to say to me. They don't know how to take me. That's what I said. So anyway, all right. So let's just say I was with Taquin this day. Let's say it was like a let's say it was like a Saturday, right? Like a Saturday morning. Let's just say Saturday morning, we probably went and got something to eat or something, because he had a car too. When he got something to eat or something. So later on that evening, like once he dropped me off, I called Vincent. Me and Vincent went to the movies, because we used to always go to the movies. It was like, that was like our thing, going to the movies. And I thought I was doing big things because I was talking to these older guys, you know. I guess I was fast, but not too fast. Just a little bit. So, all right. So I'm at Vincent's house, right? Because he had his own crib? Nah. At the time, Vincent lived with his mom's, but his mother was never home. She worked. She was like a nurse or something, so she was never home. So I remember Vincent was like, hey, because I went to sleep or something, because it was like, I was tired, so I went to sleep. He was in the kitchen doing whatever, living room doing whatever. So I remember him waking me up. He was like, yo, put your shoes on. I'm about to take you home. I got to take my man somewhere. So I was like, well, why can't I stay? He said, my mom's going to come back. So I was like, all right. I was like, well, take me home then. So we get downstairs, right? We get downstairs in his building. I went out the building first, right? So I'm walking to his car. Who do you think is standing at his car? Who do you think his man was that was waiting on him downstairs to take him somewhere? Tackling. Yeah. So you see my face, right? I'm looking like, oh shit. Like, damn, I should just tell him I could walk home or catch a cab. So I was like, fuck, now Tackling gonna know I'm talking to him too. So I was like, oh my God, I wonder if he's gonna say something. So I get to the car, right? So Tackling just looking at me and I'm looking at him and I'm just like, you know, I didn't say nothing to him. I just like put my head down. So then Vincent comes to the car. So he's like, yo, get in the front. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna sit in the back. I'm cool. He was like, yo, get in the front. I was like, I'll sit in the back. So I sat in the back, right? So the whole time Tackling didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing at all. Nothing. He wasn't like turning to look at me or nothing. I was like, oh shit, I'm caught. So anyway, they get to my building. Now he knows, yeah, my building. They get to my building. I kissed Vincent like, all right, Vince, goodbye. And then I left and went upstairs. So keep in mind, I had a pager at the time. So, you know, later on, Tackling was blowing up my pager. And at the time, I had the pager that you could leave like the voice messages on. So he kind of like cursed me out, you know, on the pager, but it didn't matter because he didn't speak to me for like, what, a week. And then after that, nigga, you was right back speaking to me and it was pretty much the same routine. So, yeah, that was my time of being 16 years old. It's crazy. So I think I'm done with talking for right now. I'm going to go ahead and share this. Now, my next story is going to be really, 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 really juicy. We're past this part. So eventually, you know, I cut Tackling off. I cut Vincent off. And I have some other really juicy stories that I'm going to tell you guys. But this is like my 16-year-old era. So the next time I come back, which might even be later on tonight, next time I come back, I'll probably go up until, let me think. I'm trying to think of anything that was really, oh, I know what I'm going to go up until. I forgot a whole section for you guys. I just forgot something. So let me go back. All right. This goes back to, remember what I told you at first with the selling drugs with the chocolate situation. Now, while Chocolate was, remember I told you guys he was running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth? All right. He found out about this African guy that I was talking to. Trust me, I was not a hoe. I just wanted the guys that had the loot. I was a bad little 16-year-old. All right. So prior to him saying that he was going to get the guys to, you know, do whatever, I remember, see, it's all coming back. I mean, I'm in my 40s now. This happened when I was 16. So forgive me, I got to remember. All right. So going back, I remember Tackling, not Tackling, I'm sorry. All right. Going back, I remember Chocolate was like, yo, I know how you can get that money. I don't know how I forgot that part because this part was even crazier. So this is what happened. So he takes me from his building, right? He takes me from his building and he takes me to the African guy building that I was talking to. Now, this is my whole thing. I used to do my stuff so low key that I was trying to figure out how do he even know that I know this dude. So he's like, yo, I'm about to rob this nigga. Now, if y'all can go back to the other video, remember when I first started selling drugs for him, he robbed the guy in my neighborhood. Remember? The guy was sitting on one bench. I was sitting on the other bench. He's like, yo, this her territory, woo, 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 and robbed him, like, in front of me. So now the African guy was, like, major paid. I'm talking about this nigga was major paid. I'm talking about, like, back then, you know, they had the big arcade games. He had, like, 10 of those in his crib and used to have, like, shoe boxes of money. How I know? Because he counted the money in front of me. See, I was too grown. God was with me for a long time because all those little situations that I put myself into, I should have been dead today. But God had other plans for me, you know? So I remember he made me knock on the door, right? And I was like, oh my God, please don't let this man open the door. So he made me knock on the door. And so my face is right there at the peephole, you know? So I'm knocking. He's like, knock hard. So I'm banging. Thank God the African guy didn't open the door because that situation could have went crazy. And I'm quite sure he had guns in that crib. That would have been a shootout. I could have got shot or somebody could have gotten killed. And then they could have held me for like accessory or setting somebody. It was just, when I turned 16, I was a mess. That's all I'm going to say. So then after that, because old boy wasn't home, that's when he took me back to his building and made me sit down, you know, in the lobby again, waiting while he did his little roundup, or so to speak. So yeah, guys, my 16-year-old days was crazy. Crazy. So when I come back, like I said, either later or tomorrow, I will talk to you guys about when I started. Well, actually, when I moved down south, when I moved to like Charlotte, because that whole era is something else. That whole, it's a fool. That's all I'm gonna say. Kidnapping, dating big time dope boys, starting to date athletes. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs it up. Leave me a comment. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. And thank you for coming to my story time segment. This has been part 2, going into a part 3 because I talked about a couple of other things. And I will see you guys in my next segment. Okay. Bye.